Hey, hey, hey. Oh, forgive the big smile on my face, but this was a great, great week for the Packers. Let me explain why. Of course, entering week 15, the Lions, the Vikings, Washington, and Tampa, all four were ahead of us. And all four of those teams got beat. The Lions lost handily to the Giants, who are still on that roll. The Vikings got blown out badly at home by the Colts. Tampa played a close game in Arlington, but still fell to the Cowboys. And Washington lost at home to Carolina. Meanwhile, what did the Packers do? Well, we just beat the Bears, which isn't hard to do, I'll admit, but our defense made it harder. We had a big lead, and the game ended up tied, and it was lucky to be tied because the Bears were close to scoring a touchdown, taking the lead, and I admit I came pretty close to tearing my hair out, and as you can see, it's still intact. But we only forced a field goal. The game was tied, leaving the bad man with a minute. And let's face it, a player that great doesn't need much. What does he do? What do all legends do? He chunks the ball to Jordy Nelson and puts us in field goal range like that. And that's why he's the best quarterback in the league. But anyway, of course, Crosby made a field goal and we won. Now, the Packers, that was our fourth straight win. More importantly, it moved us a game back of Detroit. We're ahead of Minnesota for the first time ever this season. But more importantly, most of all, if the season ended at this point, we'd be in the playoffs. We would be in the playoffs with if this season ended. Now, but more on how we could get in. We can get in this Saturday. But more on that later. So congratulations to the Raiders. Silver and Black are in the playoffs for the first time in 14 years. How about that? And 2002. That was the last time they made it, which was Houston Texans' very first year, and the first year of the 8th division realignment. That was not, however, the longest drop in the NFL. That sadly goes to the Bills. And here's it's not a fun fact, but it's a trivia note. The Bills are the only team in the NFL, actually they're the only team in sports, who has not made the playoffs in this century. That's right. The Bills' last postseason was 1999, and their streak is not only the longest in the NFL, but it's the longest in professional sports. Even baseball's Seattle Mariners, who haven't reached the postseason since 2001, haven't felt a drought longer than the NFL's Bills. It's terrible. And for any of you anti-repetitive sports geeks out there, which I am one, the NBA's longest playoff drought. So the Timberwolves, 12 seasons and maybe counting. And in the NHL, it's the Oilers, who have not made the playoffs since participating in the Stanley Cup Final in 2006. But they're on a bit of a roll, and they might make it, but that's a story for another video. So congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks. They avenged their embarrassing blowout loss at Lambeau and beat up the Rams to win the NFC West. That remains the only division that has been clinched. Not even the NFC East has been locked up yet, because the Giants still have an outside shot. But a lot has to happen. They have to win out, Dallas lose out, that'll put them tied, and of course New York has that tiebreaker. Speaking of scenarios, let's go back to the Packers and of course the scenarios facing us and a lot of other teams. It's going to be a very adventurous week 16. First, for one, it's on Christmas weekend. For another, 13 teams have a chance to get in the playoffs. Of course, we're one of them. Of course, our scenario is very complicated. Okay, see. We have to win Washington has to lose. Tampa has to lose. Now Washington's playing the Bears, so I don't know about them losing. But even if they and Tampa do lose, we have to clinch the strength of victory tiebreaker. Of course, which affects teams we've played and teams Tampa Bay has played. For us to clinch strength of victory over Tampa, we have to have a total of 5 wins this week for the following 7 teams: Atlanta, Denver, Detroit, Houston, Jacksonville, and Cleveland, and the Rams. Are you kidding me? First off, that's too much for me to follow. Second off, 3 of those teams suck. Well, actually, 2 of them suck. The Browns are in their own category of suctitude. It's not a word, but it should be. And and even so, on that list is Detroit. Now, I sure as hell am not going to root for Detroit to win, especially since we're trying to catch them to get the division. So I'm not gonna look at like 7 different games, and one of them's on Monday. But I'm not gonna look at 7. Actually, one on that list is on Monday, and the other on that list is on Sunday night, Christmas night. I'm not gonna go through a whole bunch of games, holding my breath for 5 of these teams to win, knowing that one of them hasn't won in over a calendar year. The hell with that. I'm just gonna stick with the simpler scenario, and that is the North. And the scenario for the North is easy. If Detroit loses on Monday and we win out, we get the division. Boom. And we really need to get this, because I can't wait. If we win this division, I can't wait to come back and post this video pretty much denouncing the eager mental defects who had the nerve to count us out when we were 4-6. But I'm saving that venom for later. But that's the Packers scenario, and a whole lot of other teams can get in. I think the North can be clinched. The North can be clinched. The East can be clinched. And I think the South can be no, the South can't be clinched. The NFC South can't be clinched. But the North and the East in the NFC can be clinched. Dallas just has to win. That's all. Matter of fact, they can clinch the division as early as tomorrow, because the Giants play tomorrow. And if the Giants lose, that's the East right there, and home field really. And unfortunately, Detroit still has a chance to clinch the North. They have to win, and we have to get beat, and we are not losing to Minnesota. Nor is Detroit beating Dallas in Dallas. Well, in Arlington, I should say. So, Detroit versus Green Bay in Motor City on New Year's Day should be for the division. Winner gets the division. That's gonna be good. And Houston can win the AFC South. They win. Tennessee loses. They get it. Pittsburgh and Baltimore play on Christmas, and Pittsburgh gets the AFC North. After all this, Pittsburgh wins the division. All they have to do, beat Baltimore. Simple as that. Oakland wins. Kansas City loses. They get the AFC West. New England clinched. I actually had to correct myself. I said the NFC West is the only division clinched. New England actually clinched the East, the AFC East this weekend, but they can get it all if they win and Oakland loses. By all I mean home field. And Tampa can get in, but a lot has to happen. That's something. Giants can get in. The Giants can get in the playoffs as early as tomorrow. All they have to do is win. And it's all here. It's all here on this great NFL mobile app. I love this thing. And so a lot can be decided. Well, not decided, but a lot can be decided and there'll still be some little tidbits left over for New Year's Day. So, with that, that's my review of week numero 15. 15, that's 15 in Espanol, of course. I almost forgot that for a second. I'm so giddy over the Packers. And with that, I'll say happy holidays. Enjoy Christmas weekend with your loved ones. And while you're enjoying Christmas weekend with your loved ones, enjoy some great, crazy football as well. So, with that, I say until next week.